Make sure you can sit really, really easily and comfortable at any point in time. If you need to change your sit, please feel free to do that. Let's start. Into a wonderful sit. And feel how your feet are connected to the floor. Your knees, the whole foot, your leg. If you're sitting on the floor, if you're sitting up in a chair, feel how your feet, your bottom part of your feet connected to the floor. And from there, feel your sitting bones that are connected to the sitting pillow, to your chair. Get along from that point to the top of your head. Take some deep inhale, some deep inhales, and exhale. Deep breath in, and exhale. One more time. Your rhythm, to your belly and to your chest. Good, release. Try to come back to your natural breath. Just let your breath flow. Start to observe your breath. Observe your breath without doing anything else to your breath. Just observing, keeping your breath natural. So that is what we are doing here, this meditation. At any point in time, if you feel that you're losing the connection to your breath, observe your thoughts. If you have lost the connection to your breath, observe your thoughts. Let your thoughts go softly, without pushing them away. Softly letting go of your thoughts. And then coming back to your breath whenever you have left, and whenever the thoughts are gone. Whenever the thoughts are gone, come back to your breath. Observe your breath. Observing. Knowing that this is your journey. It's your journey, you don't need to change anything. So don't force yourself anywhere, but just observe. And also if you lose focus on your breath, just go to your thoughts. Observe them for a little bit. And then let go of your thoughts again. Come back to your breath. It's all what we're doing. Good job. And we'll hear each other in just about 20 minutes-ish. And I will guide you back out of the meditation. Remember to change your sitting position whenever you feel that that is what you need. It starts to be uncomfortable. If you have any questions, you can ask me after the meditation. Inshallah.
Welcome to your doom.
One more time. Connect to your breath. Observe your breath. And release. Meditation. Come and lie down on the floor. Extend your legs. Bring your arms by your sides. Palms point upward. Feet are facing away from you. Feet are facing away from each other. Shoulders are lying on the floor. Tuck your chin in a little. Release your head down to the floor and just be. Just be. slowly back out of this Shavasana. Just lying down on the floor. Start to move your feet, start to move your fingers, move your ankles, move your wrists. Good job, everybody. Your elbows, move your shoulders, and slowly shift yourself to one side. Then come up. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for following. Oh, yes, let me. Welcome in. Everybody's still here. So, my friends, we are not going to take any kind of like formal yoga practice right now. But, you know, you can still join in and do a little bit, like follow along a little bit with what I'm doing, but not just like, it's not a yoga lesson, because I'm not offering that at the moment, like here on this channel. Because I'm also not promoting it, so it wouldn't make any sense. Unless you're writing right now, you know what, I would be up for a yoga lesson, then I will teach a yoga lesson. But if nobody's here, then no. I'm not doing that, but I'm rather taking care of myself by doing some exercises for myself. So if you like to join in with that, or if you have some questions at any point in time, please feel free to ask. And yeah, that's what we're doing. So I basically also won't explain too much. Just if you like to join in, let me know, you know, and then I will start to explain. Other than that, it'll just be a little bit more quiet than usual. So, nothing much to talk about. Maybe we can talk about the weather or anything else. If you have anything to talk about. Also need to remember to not put this video up to YouTube, you know. Still putting a lot of YouTube videos out there, or at least I'm planning to release them week after week. As long as, you know, as long as I'm here, I'm trying to record at least some videos that I put up to on YouTube. So I'm going to schedule them in. And so for example, I'm just putting the meditation up there. But basically also like the meditation stays mostly the same. At least the meditation I teach here. And, you know, I do think like a similar meditation routine, a meditation routine that isn't exciting is actually beneficial. So a meditation that isn't exciting is actually beneficial. Again, I just said that 2 times because I think it's important. Because it's also about being bored, you know. It's about being bored. You know, connecting with that boredness and actually seeing that, hey, it's not boring. It's not boring at all. It's actually always going something on, so there's so much to listen to, so much to watch out for, and it's kind of like overwhelming. Alright. So Swiss, how are you doing? How's it going with you? Did I even ask that? I'm sorry, man. Sorry. I maybe only asked Mika, because I was so excited that he was around. So I've been to the man weekend, you know, new warrior training weekend. Oh, it was exciting, interesting. Yeah, quite overwhelming as well. A lot of the things, but I've already been overwhelmed with like other events, so it's not that overwhelming. So at least, you know, I've kind of like already built the cushion there, so I'm not super overwhelmed, just overwhelmed. Yeah. The wrist, the elbows, the shoulders. It's forward, upward, backward, down. Hey, Three-Eyed Tiger, how are you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, big shout outs. Three-Eyed Tiger. She's also doing yoga, right? You're also doing yoga. How are you doing? Welcome in, everybody. My name is Marcel. We're teaching here a lot of yoga. Soon we will be on a big hike together. If you have any questions about yoga or anything related to that, let me know. Welcome in. So, Free Eye Tiger, how was your stream? Welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome. Big hug to you. So, let me share at least one thing. Because we're not teaching yoga today that much, but more like just a personal practice, a little bit of personal practice, and I'm not really teaching, but I'm just doing it myself. So at any point in time, if anybody of you guys like to join in, tell me, and we're going to be more in a teaching style. It was lovely. We focused on opening the shoulders and revealing neck stillness. Cool. Relieving, sorry. What did I say? Revealing? Relieving neck stillness, of course. So dear friends, this is our main exercise here. So, the main exercise, this is our go-to thing that kind of like points to our channel and says that's from Marcel, maybe. So, come to a wonderful stand, get long from your feet to the top of the head. It only takes a minute. Take a deep inhale. Feel the length that you are creating from your feet to the top of the head. And then exhale. Bring your arms by your sides. Get long from fingers to finger as you're breathing in. So take a deep inhale. Feel the length that you can create through your wonderful open shoulders right now from finger to finger. And as you're exhaling, release that again. Breathing in again. Spread your fingers a little bit more. And as you're exhaling, release it again. And now all the three things together as we're breathing in, as we're inhaling. Get long from your feet to the top of the head, from the shoulders out to the fingers. Extend the fingers away from each other. And as you're exhaling, exhale and think about your wonderful world and hug your wonderful world. Give yourself a really, really big, big, big hug. And if you like to smile, you have my permission to smile here. Good job. How does that feel? Welcome in. Hope you have a wonderful day. Release your arms. And give yourself another hug with your other arm on top, because one hug isn't enough. Give yourself another wonderful hug here. How does that feel? Check in with your shoulders. How do they feel after a wonderful practice you had with Free Eye Tiger? And then release. Good job. Again, today, only if you want, if you want to follow along a little bit more, tell me. Otherwise, I'm just doing my thing. I'm not going to instruct anything, but I wanted to welcome you warmly, everybody. Welcome in. Good to see you, Free Eye Tiger. I appreciate you. I appreciate the raid. Welcome in. Hope you're having a lovely day as well. So, what I'm going to do today is a little bit handstand stuff. So if you're in with me, just follow along. I'm not instructing that much, and if you have any questions, we can ask. You can just basically copy me if you want to follow along. Again, I'm not calling this a class. This is like just my routine. If you have anything you like to speak about, let me know. I can speak a little bit about stuff. And by the way, I'm going on a hike very, very soon. So these streams will be more like of hike-ish nature. So if you like that, if you like to have some more hike-ish stuff going on in your life, follow the stream and check in from time to time. Good. really hard to not give the instructions, because I usually just give all the instructions. Lymphatic shaker, we do this every class as well, yeah. I'm also doing that every class. I'm also doing like a lot of like, of course, cat-cow. I also like to do cat-cow in this position here. Rounding down here and trying to round up here. But it's quite heavy. And I just usually begun with, not usually, I just begun with doing this. Like, basically in the last class I gave, or some classes ago, I did start to do that. But it's quite hard. So I don't think it's really that much for beginners. Especially if you don't know exactly what you need to be doing. As again, this is not a class. You can follow along if you need some explanation somewhere.
Doom.
Tell me. Welcome in, Free-Eyed Tiger. I appreciate you coming in. After that wonderful follow of yours. So we're going for a little bit of handstand work today. Or handstand preparation. Or I'm going to do that. Whatever you want to call it. There's definitely a different quality if you're teaching, if you're just doing yoga, or just doing like exercises. You're just doing exercises, it's a little bit easier. You can get into poses quicker, so it's a little bit harder for people to follow, definitely. You don't need to think about people that much, and you just start doing things, right? You don't need to over-explain everything, and just go right into it and push yourself to the max, right? Whew. If you want to push yourself to the max, right? That is. Given that, right? Or if you're taking it a little bit slower here and there. Is there some favorite poses you like to do, Free-Eyed Tiger? Or are there some favorite poses you like to do? I'm currently working a lot on like my hip mobility. So I think we're also going to do some hip mobility things today, just to get back into it again, as we now had like a 3-day break. Probably pigeon pose is your favorite. God, wow. I hated pigeon pose when I started doing yoga. I hated pigeon pose so much. Lately I'm kind of like getting the hang of it slowly, And again, that's because I'm like practicing hip openers, right? Practicing a lot of hip openers, and we're also going to do some hip openers today. Freaking love it. Yeah, I feel you. As soon as you get into it and it becomes like more available to you, then it's amazing. But if you're really closed in the hips and it basically just like is annoying, so extremely annoying to get into it, then it's just like, and you're seeing other people like getting into there more easily than you, then it's just like frustrating. Like, it's really, really frustrating to me. And even, you know, I do think it was partly the problem that people didn't prepare me correctly for pigeon pose. Because now that I kind of like know how my body works a little bit, I can really prepare my hips a lot and warm them so much up, you know, with like poses like this, like getting my hips a little bit open, you know, then doing another position, getting my hips a little bit more open, getting my hips a little bit more open with every little pose, like going up in the intensity, and then also coming to pigeon pose, where the hips are quite you can really work on them, and then you can even go further in intensity, higher up than pigeon pose. And then somebody comes in to your chat, like some Indian guy, and he just tells you like, what are you doing, you know? What are you doing? You can't do that? Why are you having your legs like that? And it's like, yeah, you know, I'm not flexible, you know? You know that? Do you even know that you're not flexible in your hips? What? It was so funny, like. So I run and sit at a desk most of the day, so pigeon I feel is like saving me. Oh yes, I don't ever go straight into it to warm up for sure. I agree, some people think it's an anytime pose, but that can really hurt. Yeah, you know, now that I really start to connect more to opening the hips, like also in like goddess pose and other things, like of course warrior 2. So this is how I make an example on how I teach warrior 2 as you're in here right now. So let's start from the top. Step back with your right leg, turn it 90 degrees. Make sure your front leg points into the middle of the back foot. So drawing a line from the front leg, make sure it points into the middle of the back foot. Then first feel how your knee is over your front of the heel. Now think about your hips, they should be like in one line, so looking to the side with your upper body. Make sure that your knee doesn't come to the front or falls to the side. Yeah, falls to the side. So if that happens, bring your back foot's toes a little bit forward so your front knee can go back over your heel. And you still have quite a stretch, quite a hip opener here. Good, bring your arms by your sides, look over your front hand, push out from hand to hand as you're breathing in. As you exhale, release that a little bit. With your next inhale, get long from your feet to the top of the head. Good. And release. Additionally, you can also turn your hands around, bring your shoulder blades on the back. And bring just the hands around again, leaving the shoulders where they are, looking over your front hand. Leaning to the back, coming into peaceful warrior, engage your belly. Coming to the front, elbow to knee, get long from your feet to the top of the fingers. Engage your belly. And release. Step a little bit forward, coming into triangle pose. Make sure you need to find your right distance here. So for a lot of people, it will take some time to get used to this position. It's still super hard for me, to be honest. And it's one of the easier ones. It's like, yeah, bring your arms apart. Look over your front hand again. Your front knee points into the direction your feet are pointing, your toes are pointing. Somebody's pulling you forward at the front hand. And look what happens. One hip comes up, the other drops down. Now what's important is that we keep our side body strong. We don't want to sink down. We want to keep our side body strong and grab on wherever we can. Triangle pose. Bring your arms up. Look over your top arm. Engage your belly again. Keep your knee pointing into the direction of your front foot. Engage your belly. Keep your side body strong. And release. Come out of it. So this is how I'm teaching it. Just that you have a little glimpse into it. Haha, yeah, well, back in 2004 when I started practicing, teachers would step on my knees, sit on my back to get poses they thought I should be able to do. Oh god, no. Yeah, that sounds awful. Yeah, I mean, I probably also experienced some of that stuff when I was like doing karate and stuff like that. When I was doing capoeira, definitely experienced some stuff like that. Like standing on my feet and stuff to get myself more down into stretch. Yeah, I'm not really feeling triangle pose today. I need to start practicing it more again. Triangle pose is just like one of the poses I really struggle with. Even as a teacher, you know. Things have definitely changed, at least in the yoga world, from what I've seen. Maybe not martial arts, yeah. You know, that was also back in the day, you know. A lot of like, back in the day. I do think like, in a lot of like, it changed like everywhere a bit. Like, I don't think like a lot of people push people still down into stretches. I hope not. No, I hope not. No, sometimes I wish like I could like have some friends over me who check on me, like if I'm doing it correctly or not. Like this, I'm always like, it's also good like practice to like check on myself a lot, you know, if I'm doing it approximately correctly. But I basically, yeah, I mean, I can see myself in on the computer screen. I'm not really making use of that. Yeah. A little bit of child's pose. Like a lovely child's pose, a lovely juicy child's pose. So we're also going to do some pigeon pose later onwards. But before, we're going to do some other things. Especially in a forward fold, if you're in a forward fold, make sure you have your hips over your heels. If you have your hips over your heels, most likely you feel like falling forward and you need to press more into your toes. That's amazing. You can do that. Doing really great work if you're doing that. And then just release your head a little bit, knock your head forward and back, not knock, nod your head forward and back. You can also knock, but don't want to hurt yourselves, right? Again, this is not a class. It's just like some training. So if you like to spy into me on like what I'm doing in my free time, now is the time. Walk my dog, definitely. Gonna go walk my dog, so lurking for a bit. Have a great practice. Appreciate you. Yeah, Tiger, take care. Have a wonderful walk with your dog. I'm always saying like walking is more important than yoga. So if you can only do one thing, definitely go for a walk. I mean, of course, there's nothing. Of course, there's great if you have some variety. It's like walking in the forest or something. It's basically the best thing you can do for your health overall, in my opinion. Yeah, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. Swiss, thank you. You were the organizer of this raid, right, Swiss? I know you, man. I know you. Draw your toes back towards you when you're doing that, and also, like, if you have some blocks next to you, that would be wonderful. I'm just using a pillow sometimes. I know. I know. appreciate Swiss. So again, we are also working on our forward fold here. So we're going also back into forward fold afterwards. Trying to see a little bit of an improvement even, you know, to get ourselves motivated, to you know, just appreciate your practice, seeing what it is doing with you. Being like, oh yeah, you know, getting some good feedback. It's like, oh yeah, looking into the mirror and seeing something like when you're doing some training, like for more muscles, getting a positive feedback that it now know that it's working, you know. And for me, it always feels like stretching is rather slow, like when you're doing stretches, but you'd see quite quickly, like possibly like instantly, a little bit of improvement, like quite a lot, you know, with like a little bit of stretching. And then if you immediately see a little bit of improvement in your practice right now, right here, right now, so we're going to see a little bit of improvement in our practice, right? So this gets you motivated. Instead of like with muscles, it's more like, oh yeah, you maybe got some muscle aches and it needs to regenerate, you know? And then you're seeing the improvement in like, oh yeah, you can put on more weights or whatever it is, right? Can do more repetitions. That's probably not it. It's more like more weight, you know? Probably other people know that better as me. Probably if anybody's in here that knows more better than me, but more weight, yeah, then you get more muscles. If you're training with the same weight all the time, I do think the muscle gets like more structured, more lean, more like efficient for that kind of like amount of weight, so you need to put on more weight, right? But that's not what it's about. Like with stretching, I do think it's like you see really, really small improvements if you look like from day to day. But if you're looking like immediately, like in the practice, you're quite much see a big improvement. So you see a quick improvement, but then it goes back. So it's almost like, oh yeah, you stretch something, then it kind of like goes back. You stretch something and it goes back, you know, when you're regenerating, right? So you need to stretch it again. You need to stretch it again, stretch it again, stretch it again. Like really, where's that stupid block? Yeah, my brother took it, it looks like. Thank you. I mean, he gave it to me, but then he takes it again. So yeah, that's that. It's alright. Yes. But yeah, you can also use a block here when you come up here. Right. So a book that can be here, and then you can lean forward a little bit more cozy. It's just a little bit easier to control your back. Otherwise you can just slouch, and that's not really, you know, I like it this way. No, it's enough. So especially like for people that are new to yoga, downward facing dog is like possibly one of the really annoying things to do first, like in your first classes. It's going to be feel like, oh god, again downward facing dog. Ooh. Especially if you're a man. But then after some time, basically gets a relaxing posture, especially if you're not like getting in too deeply. But if you're really getting into there, you know, if you're really getting into downward facing dog and trying your best, it still is quite hard. Wherever you are. Unless you're like over, you know, kind of like super mastered the pose. But I haven't. You know, I also do quite some acrobatic yoga, and in case you know, I do believe like a lot of like balancing poses really help immensely. I had an argument with another friend that kind of like meant, no, I don't think he understands. I'm a little bit more into yoga than him. I do believe it's like how I'm telling. Yeah. So what I'm telling is basically if you can do a lot of balancing poses in yoga, and it's way easier to do acrobatic yoga. So it's basically partner yoga. Okay, good. Back to forward fold. Let's check if there's any kind of difference already or not. If there's a different feeling, and I already feel like, yeah, you know, there's a little bit of a difference, just a tiny amount, and it's about that tiny amount that you can feel that differs a bit. You know, try to keep your hips over your heels again, and see where you can place your arms. They're here, they're on the floor, they're up here, wherever you are. And then again, this is not a class. Unless you ask something, then that's class. The cool thing is about like forward folds, all these kind of things, it's like in the end it will make it easier to get into handstand. So that's a cool thing. Kind of like comes included with like stretching, because I do want to get to handstand, but it's super high priority. It's not like super high priority. It's more like, whoop, it's there. It's a priority that's there. Handstand, like doing it freely and holding it for, I don't know, 10 minutes, 1 minute, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But I'm not really practicing like every day. It's the thing. Not really super excited about it, but I'm just moving there continuously. So again, this is my practice. So if you're joining in, this is what I'm doing. If I'm practicing for handstand, if I'm practicing for doing some stretches and stuff. Any questions? Feel free. Jump in and ask. Lovely little wrist push-ups here. Still need to, we're still needing to activate our wrists a bit. More. Sauna. Yep. we do one third round, but then it's enough. Basically also don't know, maybe I did it too much right now, because kind of like what happens is like my whole lower arm like pops up with blood. Like it's now, like it's completely like activated right now. If you look at my arms, like in the beginning of the video, and compare it to now, it's probably really pluffed up. Quite crazy. Later on, we're also going to buy like a tent, I think. I really need to buy an ordered tent, because I don't have that much time left to organize a tent, and basically the tent is like one of the most important ingredients for the hike. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's kind of like leaning forward into it. That's so strange. Yeah, after that it's enough, I think. I just need to practice again another day. These kind of things, you know, because you also have some other things that are coming up. Five, 4, 3. God, I do it wrong a little bit. 2, 1. Okay. Oh, that's enough. Oh, God. I didn't do it that much wrong, but it's just like my shoulders were like a little bit wrongish. It's like burning. It's burning here. Lower arm. The fun thing is like if I'm putting my arm down, like all the blood instantly flows down, like it pops up, you know. My arm pops up. If I'm putting it up, everything goes down very quickly. Rather quickly, goes down. Rather quickly, all the like veins and stuff that you see working away. Putting it down, everything appears again. Super quickly. Gravity things, right? And that's why I like to do shoulder stand. You know what? I think we're calling it a day very soon-ish. We did a little bit too much of this, I do think so. And we did a bit too much of like just these little preparations here. So yeah, But still, it's great, you know? So, I like to do it like this. Sitting a little bit closer. Can I move a bit closer like that? That would be cool. Yeah, I can. I never moved like that. That's so fun. I like to do it like that. Even though, you know, it's no problem. Do this. Basically, I should. I'm just playing around, by the way. I'm not doing anything particular, but I'm playing around with my legs. Being curious, you know? What can I do with my legs? Where does it feel okay? Where can I hold it? Where do I fall away from it? And of course, like, I will basically teach it. Usually it's just legs on the wall. Reversing a little bit of the blood flow. Oh, it feels good. Whew. So, basically,